Good morning. Call this meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, try some.
We're going to begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. First item of business is approval of minutes from May 12th and the May 21st workshop.
I'll make a motion we approve.
Excuse me. I skipped over the fact that we are going to do some years of service recognition before we go to the approval of minutes. We have a 3 years of service recognition this morning here. Sergeant Brett Hill, I do not believe is with us this morning, but he has 15 years of public service. Let's give him a round of applause. Jeff, are you here? Jeff is here, and he has 10 years of public service with the county. And Susan Webb. Susan, are you here? Yes. 15 years with public service with the county. We'll get these handed out and get some pictures real quick. Yeah, let's get a picture.
We want a picture with Susan and you guys. You guys do, yeah,
All right.
please.
Back in the photograph.
Thank you.
Now back to the approval of minutes from the May 12th and the May 21st workshop.
I'll make a motion we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We approve the minutes from the May 12th and the May 21st workshop. We have a number of action items. We will have a time for public comment and request. We will do that after we take care of the commission orders that we have before us. The first item to be considered is Commission Order 2026-131, approving a master service agreement number 2 with Paytel Communications. This is the contract with the jail for the inmate phone service.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We approve Commission Order 2026-131. Next is Commission Order 2026-132. It is the contract with Leon Uniform Company for uniforms and accessories for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 132.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. We've approved 2026-132. Next is Commission Order 2026-133. It's the execution of an insurance proposal from the Daniel and Henry Company for crime coverage through the Tribal Casualty and Surety Company of America.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 133.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. We've approved Commission 2026-133. Next is Commission Order 2026-134. This is the acceptance of a quote for the renewal with Rico USA for the Franklin County Child and Service or Child Support Enforcement a copier lease.
Make a motion, we agree. Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 134.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-134. Next is Commission Order 2026-135, adopting the Franklin County Artificial Intelligence Intelligence Use Policy.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 135.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We've approved Commission Order 2026-135. Next is Commission Order 2026-136. It is repealing Commission Order 2026-108 and enacting in lieu of, therefore, an order imposing the use tax for the purpose of funding for the 911 Dispatch Center.
I make a motion, we approve 2026, TAC 136.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You would approve 2026-136. Next is 2026-137, authorizing the disbursement of special road and bridge funds to Oak Grove Village.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-137. Next is Commission Order 2026-138. This is the execution of service agreement with Drexel Technologies for the Recorder of Deeds.
Is that an increase from last year? Is Megan here? It's not an increase?
I think this one was same, I believe.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-138. Next is Commission Order 2026-139, reappointment of Highway 100 County Community Improvement District Board of Directors.
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You approved Commission Order 2026-139. Next is 2026-140, ratifying the procurement of upgrades of the GIS master software for the Franklin County IT Department.
Make a motion we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 140.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-140. Next is 2026-141. This is approving an on-site service agreement with Smith's Detection for security screening equipment at the Franklin County Historical Courthouse.
Make a motion we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 141.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-141. Next is Commission Order 2026-142. It is a on-site service agreement with Smith Detection for the screening equipment at the Judicial Center.
Make a motion we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 142.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-142. Next is Commission Order 2026-143, an execution of an agreement with Surveying and Mapping LLC, SAM, for the Franklin County IT Department.
Tim, on here it indicates it's for a sample ballot, but when I read through it, it's a lot more than just a sample ballot out there. It's for the GIS mapping of
So-
polling places. And,
So we went out a couple months ago and looked for a sample ballot program. We thought we had a really good one in place. We executed the commission order that you all put forth for us. We started to work with the company. Chuck might speak better to it than I can. But as we were telling them, again, this is what we needed. As they told us they could do it, they said they couldn't. And so we terminated the contract. We're in the process of getting our money back from them. This is the company that would also help with mapping downstairs. So we're actually going to help planning and zoning with their mapping along with this program to work with our ballots so we can get those out. And it is a time-sensitive thing because we do certify the ballot today. And we've got a couple weeks to get those prepared so we can get them out on the website so people can start reviewing them.
okay. Yeah, I just when
So
you
actually,
just
in all honesty, this one's a whole better fit for the county because we're going to actually,
Cheaper.
Well, it's about the same cost, but but it is cheaper
Yeah.
because we're helping with mapping.
Yeah.
So we actually got an added bonus to it, I guess you could say. So, and it is a budgeted item because we're going to be getting that money back from the company that.
No problem getting the money back from the
Well,
other
we're
company.
still working with it on that, but we know Mark is helping us with that as well.
Okay.
So, but yes, they were in breach of contract on that for not doing what they could say they could. So our office and Chuck are working very hard on making sure that comes back to us.
Yep.
okay.
So-
I just wanted to point out that it's a lot more than just putting
It
a
is.
sample ballot.
And it
It's
has, yes. but
polling
it is.
places,
It's
mapping, statistics. It's a lot of stuff involved in it.
But one of the best features it's going to have for us is that one of the biggest complaints we have is that people could not look up their ballots on their phone. You had to do it from either a normal computer or a tablet, and this will help that process as well. So,
All right.
Thanks,
Tim.
thank you.
I make a motion we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 143.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-143. Next is 2026-144. This is authorizing the disposal of certain state and local records from Tim's office ballots, leftover ballots.
that's just following the retention schedule
Yeah.
set by the state, so we can keep our record room as clean as possible.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-144. Next is Commission Order 2026-145, publishing the 2025 financial statements of Franklin County.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 145.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You approve Commission Order 2026-145. Finally, 2026-146 is the consent agenda, and all items listed thereon. We have the building department fees, the recorder of deeds fees, and an auctioneer's license.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-146. Do we have any elected official or departmental reports this morning? Seeing none. Any further discussion from the commission this morning?
Not I.
No, sir.
No, sir. At this time, we will have some public comments. I will, again, be the timekeeper. I will give you 3 minutes. When you have 10 seconds left, I'll give you a little rap of the gavel so that you know that your time's about to expire. And we will begin with Jeff Hayden this morning.
So, on data centers, you know I'm opposed. So we've gone through the process, and we're under the heading of discussion. Will there be any discussion this morning?
Again, this is time for this is public comment. We're not going to engage in a discussion when it comes to. I'm not sure what you want to talk about, but we're giving you an opportunity to have public comment at this point.
So discussion is the word that's used. That's not going to happen. So have you heard any opposition to the data centers? Because I know you all have said you don't hear any opposition to the data centers. We went through this meeting about the data centers. I don't know if you heard any of that. So what about the people of Bowles and Calvi County? I mean, the township. They didn't have any representation in P&Z. So they showed up at the commission hearing. And they told you, we don't want them. They're going to affect everything around us. Did you hear any of that? Do you have any conversation you want to have about that? So, respecting the process. You preach that to us. We got 3 minutes to talk. But this morning you changed the process on us. So the process really, it's up to you, isn't it? We have to abide by it? I don't think so. So that 3-minute time limit that you give, I understand why you give that, because you might be here all day listening to us pull your ear on the subject, because we all have a lot to say about it. It is affecting us every day. Maybe not you, but I know it does me. So I got a copy of a paper that Provident sent to Planning and Zoning. When we got this through the Sunshine laws, whatever. I'm reading through here. And I get down here to where it says no impact. I'm here because of the impact that this is going to have on Franklin County. No impact. That's not even possible in construction. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff, for your comments. Next, Rhonda Brackett. Good morning.
So there's actually two things in here. I had intended to speak at our all-day event recently, and for whatever reason, I was not able to. So I have included that information in with this. But over the weekend, and I had sent you guys by email, I came across a video called Protecting the Heartland, Educational Data Center Symposium with Tammy Clark and Kristen Megan Kelly. Both of these women are exposure scientists, highly credentialed, and they offered much insight into the rules and regulations about our government and the state, are to follow with data centers and the environmental impacts, the health implications. So I want to encourage you. I know you guys are really busy. Please take the time to listen to this. It's good. It's a little over an hour. If you start at 20 minutes and then maybe go like half an hour, it covers most of it. A lot of really good information. And the link is there. So the high points that stuck out in my mind are that there should be a risk-reward assessment done, and that they are an environmental hazard. There should be an environmental study done. And I understand that it is required by federal and state government. There are better systems available that are not as harmful to the ones being installed. And they're already in use in some areas, and they're already making plans to build in space. So whatever they put in now is going to be obsolete in a couple of years. The water used would drain the aquifer. It was mentioned that they would use about 5 million gallons of water a day. And they said there needs to be an aquifer study. A closed loop system uses water. Even if they use glycol, it's 50% solution, it still uses water. And when they flush the system to get the sludge out, it goes into the aquifer and pollutes it. Transmission lines cause EMFs, radiation, and noise vibration. Diesel air generator permits are required as an environmental regulation. And they talked about the parameters around that and, the negative aspects of it. And on tonal noise, the vibrational noise, it should be 15 to 20 decibels. That should be the highest that it should be. And I'll leave that, and the rest of it, please do read. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Ann Payton.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The May 18th meeting was ridiculously long. Many, many people left before they had the opportunity to speak. The date, time, and duration were not compliant with a reasonable time. It was awful. 13 hours awful. So let's discuss data mining. Do you know anything about that? Central banking, your electronics listening and watching you. Have you ever talked about something next to your phone and then all of a sudden on Facebook, bam, there it is, what you were talking about. You weren't looking for it, you were just talking about it. Coincidence? I think not. There's a ton of money to be made data mining and compiling our data, what we buy, where we go, what we watch, and the list goes on and on. The hyperscale data campuses are going to facilitate more mining of our private information. Excuse me. More control of the general population and more control of our money. Do you seriously want to be remembered as the ones who allowed this in our county? Can you morally, ethically, and in good conscience vote yes to any of those items on the May 18th agenda? I think not. The Unified Land Use Regulations allows for rezoning according to Article 14, Section 321, which Nicole reads every time she does this. Any such change must promote health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare of Franklin County by preserving and protecting property and building values. We do not consent to subsidizing data centers. Our tax dollars should not be used to mine or store our private information. You need to promote our health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare. Commissioners, be the champions that your children, your grandchildren, and future generations need. Say no to the data centers. Unsubstantiated revenue does not equal a green stamp of approval. Political pressure should not be an approval. You took an oath to serve your constituents morally and ethically. Promote our health and welfare. We are the land of the free because of the brave. Be the brave.
Thank you for your comments. Dana Briggs.
Thank you.
Hi
Morning.
there. So I'm here today because I've officially spent more than 24 hours of my time sitting in the Planning Zoning Commission meeting, and then the past meeting on May 18th, and my mental state is not the best right now. I'm not sleeping. I feel like I have a moral reason to be here. I don't feel like it's okay for me to just ignore my neighbors, the people in my community who I know are going to be hurt by this data center put in. I wouldn't want that in my backyard. I wouldn't want to look out and see a data center where a beautiful green field used to be. So that's why I'm here today. And I'm really concerned about the prospect of data centers being built in Franklin County. I don't trust that I'm going to see any benefit from this data center being built, and I feel like that's where a lot of the people that are in this room are at. It's not like we're hearing, oh, you guys are going to widen 47 with the prospective money that they're proposing. It's not like you guys are saying, oh, we're going to put in sidewalks because my neighborhood doesn't currently have sidewalks. It's not like I'm going to be able to walk to the library or the post office that I can't cross 47 to get to. So I feel like a lot of people aren't hearing any benefit. We're hearing only, that there's detrimental things that are going to come out of this for us. We're not hearing any benefits. So for most of this, there's more risk than benefits. So I'd encourage you to take a stand for Franklin County citizens, similar to what nearby cities are doing. Data centers are not welcome in the city of St. Charles. Last Tuesday, their city council voted to pass a measure effectively banning large-scale data centers developments within city limits. The bill defines data centers within the city zoning code and clarifies that data centers are not listed for permitted or conditional use anywhere within St. Charles. So I'm asking you, please take our fears and concerns seriously. In West Virginia, extensive flooding swept through Mason County due to an error in construction of a nearby data center. Following significant rainfall in Mason County on May 23rd, several residents have reported substantial flooding, high waters, and the resulting aftermath of both in their homes. The onslaught of rain caused a breach in a nearby data center, and the AI company behind the data center intends to bear the financial burden of rehabilitation and remediation following the severe flooding. So I'm asking you, seriously, how are you going to protect us? What kind of benefits are we going to see out of these data centers? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next, Karen Fuse.
I have two things I want to talk about. One is your, your 911 tax. On January 28th, March 24th, the Missourian called it a quarter-cent sales tax. That's where we're supposed to go to get information about the county. On the 9/11 Facebook page, they stated it was a quarter sales tax. On April 15th, the director thanked us for approving the quarter-cent sales tax. On 5/11, the commissioners stated, we intended to levy a quarter-cent portion specifically for 911, but the state won't allow us. Well, I think people need to have a revote on what it really is, because this is truly a bait and switch, okay? My other thing I want to talk about is you, Mr. Schatz, wanting to spread the wealth. There are 10 school districts and 10 fire districts in Franklin County. New Haven has the highest taxes. Richwood has the lowest taxes. There was never anything said when the Labadie plant went in about sharing the wealth. Washington School District got paid, and Bowles Fire District got paid. If you want to share the wealth, then they need to share the cost. They need to have a unified school tax for the county, and then you should distribute it with the amount of students that are there at that school. You shouldn't tax one group of people a larger amount than another group of people and then say, oh, and by the way, Merrimack Valley's going to get some extra money, so we're not going to give it to them. We're going to share their wealth. That's not tax fair. That's not what we signed up for. That's not why we have school district taxes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jessica Nicodermo.
I'm just gonna say on the record, she actually had to go back to work because you guys switched up how you normally do things. She was here in time to sign up and actually speak early enough, but because you changed things via the way that it was actually on the schedule, she had to go back to work.
Jim Roberts.
Dave, I don't know if you can pack for that. I was here last week.
Okay.
On the 12th, and basically I had 10 questions. So I know they were supposed to get you a copy. That's all the supporting documents. I got the 10 questions here, which I can give you afterwards.
Okay.
Read off.
That'll be fine.
Okay, my name's Jim Roberts. I'm here again to discuss the generally hauling landfill. I was here last time and read off 10 questions. Ken, you made a comment that you were going to get those questions answered for me. Where are we at on those questions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just reread them again for everybody. Question 1, what is the commissioner's plan if the EPA's brownfield assessment grant does not get approved or Senate Bill 1586 doesn't go into law? Senate Bill 1586 died, so I wrote this before that bill died. According to Jim Wild at East and West Gateway Council of Governments, on October 8th, 2025, Franklin County is the owner of the generally hauling landfill parcel 215210000003100. As you are aware, it has multiple violations of the Clean Water Act and needs addressed immediately. Question 2, if the EPA Brownsfield grant gets approved, does Franklin County anticipate enrolling into the Brownsfield Voluntary Cleanup Program, as DNR stated they expect you will? Question 3, why has the County Commission not shown public support for Senate Bill 1586? This bill would simply dissolve Franklin County from liability. There was not one county commissioner that sent testimony for that bill. Now, that's kind of old news because that bill died. Hopefully we can get it going next year. 4, this one's pretty important. Why was a memo sent out from the county assessor's office on 11/20/25 stating that this property is not to be discussed with anybody, Old landfill no longer in use, not reclaimed, could be 100+ years before land can be used. This is concerning that the county is not notifying property owners in the area of potential health hazards. I personally supplied test results from DNR to the commissioners at the last commission meeting when I spoke March 27, 2025. Question 5. As a known abandoned landfill, why has this property been sold multiple times at tax sales? Franklin County has been aware of the condition and leachate outbreaks since March 18, 1994, and that's coming from the 1994 Missouri Attorney General Enforcement. Question 6. As a follow-up to the prior question, how was the property sold at the last tax sale for $45,000 with no disclosure on the newspaper ad? The county refused to return the money to the original purchaser. This has happened not once but 4 separate times. Then suddenly, the BOA on December 6, 2024 valued the property at $0. How does property value go from $45,000 to $0 in 4 months' time? Question 7. I, Jim Roberts, had a phone call with Ken Cox on May 5th, 2026 at 2:10 p.m. During that conversation, Ken informed me that the Franklin County Commissioner is a part-time job and that's per state statute. Look it up is what he told me. What state statute states this? Never got a reply. Well, that was my 10 seconds there.
You got 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Jim.
Well, this is what's coming out of my spring. So I wanted to give you guys this. It takes about 3 minutes to settle, so maybe you can use that as a timer. Or it could be a reminder for 10 questions to be answered, because nobody seems to want to answer my 10 questions.
Thank
or
you,
you
Jim.
guys could send it to the state lab and get some test results and look for yourself.
Thank you, Jim. Next, Nancy Watson. Thank you.
I can see it. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's nasty stuff, man. Keep it up there, everybody can see it. They'll dilute it, so it's drinkable.
Nancy, you can begin.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Nancy K. Watson. When I left the May 18th, 2026 Commissioners meeting, a Beltline representative walked up to me and said, "Look, we are just trying to be a good neighbor." I responded, "You will never be my neighbor." He replied, "Oh, yes, we will." I quickly answered, "No, you will not." At that point, he walked away. Why did I respond as I did? Well, here's why. In the revised land use regulations regarding data center changes, I see this line, section 238A. Regulate the placement and construction of data centers in order to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Franklin County. And in number 1, provide for the appropriate location. And in number 2, ensure that any new data center is located in an area compatible with the surrounding community. There's no commercial development near the McLaren farm. The data center frontage on Highway O would be both industrial and commercial. It's 1.8 miles long along Highway O. The surrounding community is rural. Our family agricultural and residential properties border the McLaren farm going north. The location does not fit the amended regulations. The area around the Diamond Farm is also rural. Deloge Estates, in particular, is a beautiful rural area. A data center in that location does not fit the amended regulations. Article 10, Section 238B2. I just want to point out that all setbacks for data centers should be uniform at 1,000 feet. Should one resident's home be granted a larger setback than another's? Is one resident's quiet rural life more important than another's? The decisions you make will be the most important of your career. Opposition to the data centers has been based on research by the residents of Franklin County. The great majority of the residents are opposed to hyperscale data centers. Listen to us, represent us, vote no on all 4 hearings. If you can't vote no, table a decision, pass a moratorium. Franklin County will prosper without hyperscale data centers. We will be healthier and happier without them. People will come here to live in our beautiful rural county knowing that
Nancy?
our commissioners made the right decision for the
Your
people.
time has expired. Thank you. Thank you. Darlene Hogue.
Good morning. I have a statement I would like to make. Since it's my tax dollars paying for the orders that were already voted on and approved, I do have a few questions, though, regarding Commission Order 2026-135, adopting the Franklin County Artificial Intelligence Use Policy. I do not believe that people making decisions regarding AI programming and security risk fully understand the ramifications of AI. Are we supposed to just accept that an AI or IT person over the department will be making all security decisions? That would be a 24/7 position, and no one can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to keep the system secure. How will that person know if there is a Trojan horse in a program that seemed to be trustworthy? AI comes in many deceiving forms of digital programming. Will Franklin County residents' private information and files be secure from other governmental entities from viewing? Is this another form of monitoring residents without our knowledge or consent? The residents are told many times that AI-based articles could not be trusted because there are errors with AI. Why are we implementing AI into private information for county business? This is too much. There's just too much unknown about AI. I had other comments to make on other orders as well, but that was my big one. For many years, we, the residents of Franklin County, have trusted our commissioners. We have never had a reason or a cause not to, until hyperscale data center developers came in under the cloak of darkness with backroom invitation-only meetings and a mandatory NDAs. Let's not forget that they come with the huge sums of money that they don't have, but keep saying the county is going to receive. This is a farce. I retired from a very prominent local school district. The money never comes. It doesn't come because state funding ends, and the money promised fizzles away far too soon. The money is gone before the money is promised to the schools, the police, the fire, the ambulance departments, etc. Can even see a dollar. Then this leads to layoffs across every department. Nobody wins except the developers and the end users and owners of these such facilities and utility companies. I was online yesterday and I saw a video of a person standing before the Congress, and they had a jar of water just like you was presented with today. And she was spending hundreds of dollars getting testing and trying to get the Department of Natural Resources to figure out what was going on. Her creek ran dry, her wells were producing dirty water, and they have to ship in water to their homes so they can cook, so they can bathe.
Darlene.
What are you doing to protect the residents of Franklin County and our state of Missouri?
Thank you, Darlene. Corbett Shannon. Thank you.
Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
I stand here this morning disgusted by what this process and farce has become. Thousands of pages of citizen opposition have been submitted. 13 hours of testimony before planning and zoning. 13 more hours before this commission on May 18th. 26 hours of citizens pleading with you. Farmers, families, business owners, retirees, taxpayers. We showed up, we did the homework, we trusted the process, and now the file is closed? What a slap in the face, and what a farce. You've sent a message to us. We've heard enough, but we, the people, have not. And worse, on April 28th, Dave, you asked me for some time out here in the hallway to discuss this topic. I asked you to consider town halls. You looked me squarely in the eyes, shook my hand, and said, I will look into it. Dave, you shook my hand. That was nearly a month ago. And what has happened? Nothing. It's clear to me now, Dave, you were lying to me, and you've been lying to this county for far too long. You, sir, have no honor. Why are you avoiding the town halls? Why avoid standing in front of citizens who you represent for an unscripted public conversation? Why ask people to speak for hours into a microphone, yet refuse to engage them in actual dialogue? Are you listening? Have you guys heard us? How could you guys have read that much paperwork in such a short amount of time? I'm astounded. It was this tall on your desk. If our efforts are not enough to further conversation, then what exactly is the threshold? Or is there no threshold because this decision has already been made? It's clear. Hear us clearly, gentlemen, today as I stand here. Closing a file does not close accountability or outrage. We will remember this moment. I quote our Declaration of Independence. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Commissioners, your actions are dishonorable, and come August, we will hold you accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, Corbett. Janine Kreider.
We are now seeing the effects of data centers around the world being revealed, which is why they are rapidly trying to get these data centers built before the true devastation is more widely known and felt. Counties and townships all over America are sharing the same experiences as we in Franklin County have experienced. Mass outrage and opposition being deliberately ignored, and little transparency under the guise of NDAs. Forward movement of these projects behind closed doors and with the intentional scheduling of open meetings at times when hardworking taxpayers are trying to make a living, posing the question of why. To us, only two possibilities: bribery payoffs or death threats. If there is a different reason, we would like to know. Local residents are held prisoners on their properties as they are now unsellable. Eminent domain is being used not for the intended purpose of improvement for the collective people as a community, but for private business ventures with massive tax breaks. Many people are offered under market value for the entirety of their property if only a portion of the property is needed, leaving that residence right at the line of the building project. This is criminal, sirs. Many residents are told to limit water usage, including the absurd suggestion of reusing bath water. What is this, 1880s tenement living? Some residents have been informed that next year they will no longer have an energy provider as it is allocated to the data centers, and I'm referring to our entire nation when I speak a lot of these problems. Electromagnetic pollution has made people sick with headaches, anxiety, physical illnesses, and in young children of these areas, a higher rate of leukemia and brain cancers. Some are now drained, well, we're having our aquifers drained by the data centers using up so much water. $30,000 is the cost to dig a new well deeper, but the water is still polluted, and the financial responsibility is an impossibility for most. Next is the light and noise pollution emitted 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. At 1:30 in the morning, a loud, never-ending hum surrounds local residents profoundly, and it's even a half a mile away. The light is hovering in the sky that appears overhead, and it looks like a city ablaze. We are now mentioning the forever chemicals of poison going back into the atmosphere and ground. Experts who have worked on these projects reveal that it is impossible to contain these waste chemicals. The wildlife will now flee due to the radical industry and its poisonous emissions. Local government needs to represent the people of that county, not the special interests of ultra-rich and those neglected in considering the lives of the people living there and supporting the community with our tax dollars. Our taxes go up, energy costs go up, property values plummet, while the energy first is allocated to the data centers, resulting in residential blackouts. This board needs to serve the people, as is your obligation.
Thank you for your comments. Jennifer Moody.
And I have written testimony to give you before.
Thank you.
Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
I am here today to counter statements made at the May 18th meeting by Provident and Beltline about the strictness of the proposed regulations of Franklin County. First of all, I'm against data centers, but if we have to have them, we can have stricter and more and better guidelines. First of all, strictness is not the metric by which we should be measuring the quality of our guidelines. We should be looking at regulations that protect the people, that and protect the land, and also protect the developers. Also, they are misinformed about what the current landscape of regulations are. So the first paper you have is from Bradley County, Tennessee, and there should be a little green tag on there about setbacks. Bradley County, Tennessee has 3,000-foot setbacks for all residential areas. The next sheet is from Luzerne County, our next packet is from Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, and I would like to point out on page 15 is sound requirements, and it's not just sound, but it's vibrations as well, and they are talking about limits based on decibel level. They separate out, I might have my things mixed up. They separate out based on dBA, dBc, and dBz, which is at infrared. They also are one of the few counties that I have seen, and I've only looked at 5 so far, that have heat-based requirements. So heat is an emerging issue with these data centers, and especially when you're going to put 2 so close together, you're going to have a very hot zone that's going to affect everybody. Cass County, Missouri has very strict regulations for light. They also have an amazing community engagement piece that before the application is complete, the developers have to meet with the community, have to prove that they've met with the community, and have a response to community concerns as part of the application. That is transparency. That is engagement. That is the kind of neighbor, if we're going to be forced to have these, that we want. We want neighbors that will engage with us and communicate with us. Lynn County, Iowa has water sustainability. They have to do a study before, as part of their application, to show that they are not going to drain the aquifer, that they're not going to cause wells to be dry. All of these, especially Cass County and Luzerne County, have bonds that have to be filled for things like emergency response, for environmental disaster. There's a lot going on with regards to the data center, and once we know better, we can do better. You now have the information to know better. Do better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer Hannaford. Jennifer Moody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is also about Commission Order 2026-136, the misrepresented tax increase. The use tax was promoted as 0.25%. And although the ballot didn't specify That's what people understood. It is actually 2.25%. Totally irrational. The estimates for 0.25% increase would be $1 to $2 million a year for the 911 department. 2.25% is 8 times that. Wow. $8 to $16 million. That's a bit excessive. It's irrational. It's dishonest. This needs to be changed, rescinded, and re-put to a vote. Please intervene and accomplish this.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Dana Bowers.
So I actually have a picture here that I'm gonna hang up for you guys, but I'm gonna show everybody first. This is actually a whale, and it's made up of thousands and thousands of small fish, and it's eating a shark. I'm gonna let them stare at this while I talk.
I'm highly disappointed that our county attorney is not here today. And I'm going to move this right up to my mouth because I've been quiet and calm, and I've tried to be kind for weeks upon end. I've personally not attacked any of you, and I've been trying to keep the peace between you three and Mark and those of us screaming back here no to this life-altering decision. I'm done, gentlemen. I'm done. Ephesians 5:11 through 14 instructs us as believers to avoid sinful behaviors and works of darkness, but instead expose them by living righteously and by shining a light of truth, and the true nature of evil will be revealed, and call his people to awaken from spiritual death so Christ can shine. Wake up, gentlemen. Wake up. Burning question. Where are the chips and building materials coming from the unknown companies that will be housed in these buildings? Guess what? We all know the majority of these hyperscale centers are built for government purposes, including surveillance. The Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation restricts specific material usage. Occupancy will determine construction material usage. So why do we not have this information? This is another non-disclosed legality that could be used to protect our people. Absentee Mark. Now, either we have a completely incompetent attorney or an intentionally corrupt attorney. Which is it, guys? There are a multitude of statutes and other laws along with this legality that are protective of your residents here. So why have none of these been investigated and presented to you, the commissioners, and to the public? Absentee Mark. Dave, did you have conversations with Kehoe about any AI data centers potentially being placed in Missouri prior to your appointment? Do you want to answer that on the record, yes or no?
I'll answer after we get done with your testimony.
Dave, did Governor Kehoe ever say he will appoint you as commissioner if you approve these specific applications in Franklin County, yes or no?
No. I'm not going to continue this, but
It has been
I am.
very
But you're
clear.
specifically
I am not
telling
done,
me
sir.
this.
I am not done.
Well, you have 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds.
No, I will spend my time speaking. These people want to hear what I have to say. It has been made very clear with the announcement of the Google data center being placed in Montgomery County that Kehoe is the puppet master. You can turn my mic off all you want. I'll just talk louder. You were appointed here as commissioner for Franklin County to be his puppet and pass these data centers, even against the will of the people. When did you sell your soul to the devil, Dave?
Dana, your time has expired.
We know the game being played from the state level, and how is it trickling down to our county?
Next is Patricia Schuber.
We have rights through the Freedom of Information Act approving any
Patricia, your time starts now.
R1000 and act of quid pro quo. This is not accusatory. This is stating factual information. Shall I remind you? This is exactly what Blagojevich went to prison for. You two men, honestly, should dive deep into
Patricia, your time is being
you're going to sink in the
expiring.
game and Kehoe ship right along with them if you don't stop this, guys. You want to start answering questions now, feel free. If not, you will end up doing so under oath in a court of law. After your full and complete dismissal for common human decency,
Your utter disrespect of the process, Dave, and your behaviors during the 13-hour hearing last Monday were disgusting, deplorable, and unlawful. You three and Mark should not only be ashamed of yourselves, you all should be begging to resign before you're ousted from your seats. At this point in time, nothing, and I mean nothing, excuses your tyrannical behavior. You work for the people of this county, not Kehoe, not the state, nor any of your personal individual interests. Paul was allowed to publicly tear up a paper that was submitted as legal documented testimony that even Dave said on the record was going to be submitted into a file as evidence. Then, Ken, it was more important for you to pay attention to the back of your eyelids while
Patricia, you now have 2 minutes.
my 13-year-old son was speaking. And he was not the only one dismissed during your random snooze fest through the day. I am now infuriated, and so are thousands of others throughout this county. A procedural objection was placed on the record that a public hearing is only meaningful if the decision makers are fully present and attentive to the testimony given. That hearing should have been either continued or left open. As far as the public is concerned, that hearing is legally illegitimate. So I will repeat again what was stated that evening. We the people demand that you reopen the files and continue the hearing for all of those that were unable to speak that day in pursuant to RSMO section 110.020.02. You vote no on the rezoning and regulations now, or this goes to a vote of the people. Let me tell you, men, you have two options at this point. Two options. You either do your highly paid jobs as the people of this county have demanded you do, including Mark. If the developers or landowners try to sue this county, which includes all of us, they will have no leg to stand on, guys. Because in a court of law, you would have us to back you. Or two, you approve shoddy structured regulations and approve rezoning requests for two pieces of land that you know damn well are not compatible and placement of these infrastructures. And not only will you have your asses voted out of office, but you will sit in litigation with a county of over 100,000 people fighting not only the developers and the landowners, but you three personally will pay legal consequences for all of the blatant documented, recorded, and live stream corruption we have seen play out in front of all of our own eyes. This is not a threat, gentlemen. This is just fair warning. For hell's sake, you four do not, including Mark, know better than the thousands of us in this county. We are saying no, and we will fight you all the way through the litigation process. There's way more of us in this city here in this county. You will not win this. The people of the county will. Have a great day.
Patricia? Schubert.
And you're giving her a full 3 minutes, yes?
Thank you, Dana.
You are welcome, guys.
Good job,
And I will keep speaking up. I will not go away, guys. This is not fun. I'm not sorry either.
They're not listening, doesn't matter.
My one voice speaks for many.
Patricia, you now have the microphone.
And I agree with her.
Thank you.
60,766 people. 3,793 people. 6,741 people. Those are the individuals who have signed a petition in this county asking that this not be in industrial areas, not be at the Pacific site, nor at the Villa Ridge site. The local people added up to almost 11,000 people, plus people who signed a national petition saying not in industrial areas. This is sort of the outcry across the nation. These should not be in agricultural areas. They should definitely not be near people, not near residences. Jennifer pointed out
I'm sorry.
the
Straighten
four
my papers.
different counties that we had the chance to take a look at. They're in this binder also. I highlighted them in a half an hour. Things that stood out clearly about exposure to low frequency noise and vibration and the impacts of people who live closest to these. If we had known when you guys signed the NDA with at least one of these developers back in December of last year, we would have had a chance to review this. Jennifer has a PhD. I have a degree in biology. We have people who have lots of experience here. One of the individuals who lives closest to this site in Villa Ridge is an IT management professional of about 40 years. You could have gotten input from people. The first hearing that happened in January, you had the attorney from the Arboretum, I'm sorry, I can't call it the Nature Reserve, the Missouri Botanical Garden site in Villa Ridge say, assemble a group of people who are experts who could inform you. We don't expect one person to know all of this information, but we can all read, and you have these documents. I cannot believe your planning and zoning department and other people weren't able to find this almost immediately. Your attorney certainly would have been able to find this. All I had to do is search for best practices for data center regulation in the United States of America by county, and I was able to pull it up. We met at a coffee shop the other day to review some of this information. Please take the time. Please say no, say moratorium, say we deserve better than this. We want all of us to be successful in this county, and we want to preserve our way of life.
Indeed, thank you.
I also want to mention the numbers about who wanted to show up at the hearing on the 18th. Just to conclude, in 2 days, we made a Google document, put it on the internet. We know everybody's not on the internet, certainly not on the weekend before a hearing. 188 people wrote back to say, we would want to attend, but we cannot. 160 of those were due to work. I had asked, could you potentially set up a sign-up form that allowed people to at least know I'm here for 2 hours. So I take off 2 hours from work and then I can go to work. But instead, we all sat in that room for 13 hours. That's not legitimate input into a process.
Patricia,
and I believe, just
you
one last
expired.
thing, please. Can you please open the files and have a hearing that's legitimate, that people can attend? And I think then you would hear the majority of people in this county do not want this form of development right now without guardrails and these kind of regulations, not what you're looking at. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy Nichols. Amy? Is Amy here?
Yeah, I am, sorry. You can do it, Amy. Yes.
Okay, this is the noise from a data center that's just half a mile
away from a data center.
somebody's house.
Imagine if every time
Wait a
you were
minute.
outside.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Just stay right there. It's okay.
Yeah, I used to live in West County in St. Louis, and I moved out here because I liked how peaceful it was. And even in West County, they had noise ordinances between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. You couldn't have loud noises. Well, this is at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Every time you
Oh,
were
wait a
outside,
second.
whether you're barbecuing, having a campfire, camping in your backyard, gardening, whatever it is, imagine if this is what you heard, okay?
And so that's what it's like close to somebody's house. And that's constant at 1 in the morning. And all day long too. And the light too. We moved here 5 years ago, and the lighting has gotten much worse. With the LED lights, everybody's putting lights up. At Gray Summit, we live on a bluff in the valley by the Merrimack, and the light coming down that valley all the way to Pacific, just from Gray Summit, and the heavy equipment operators, they're putting up big lights there that are shining in every which direction. They're not using, if you would go to a site called Operation Dark Sky, they promote dark skies across Missouri, but most places you can't even see the stars at night anymore. That's all for me.
Thank you for your comments. Entertain a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn. Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned. Ken,